Hello, YouTube. We are back with some more commentary tonight. I am joined by Arby, who will be co-commentating this first official BT-15 locals that we had over at Dean's Dugout.
Yep. We sent TJ back to Japan.
When he will return, we do not know. It's a mystery.
Yeah.
Tune in for further updates. but yeah, Dean's is a great shop that is in the Naperville area. For those of you in the Chicago region, great shop. We do play there every Sunday at 12:30. So if you want to play Digi with some nice chill people, some handsome people, you know where to find us. And they also, sell a lot of TCG stuff. They've got Magic product. Sometimes they'll get like One Piece, Lorcana, and a bunch of like sports stuff too. So if you're into that sort of thing, please do check them out. Great local like mom and pop shop, and we just love to support them.
Great shop. Truly a treasure of card shops.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know the Hoffmans and Rio have been going there since they've been like young little boys. So definitely a staple in our community. But here we do have Stack playing Leviamon once again, going against Leviamon. Fenry, honestly, a deck that I feel like is still going to be pretty darn strong moving into BT-15. I think a lot of the purple players are kind of stuck on the shiny new stuff with Levia, and we had Anubis back in EX5. But I mean, Lugar is it'll still do Lugar things.
It's arguably stronger here because it does get a couple cards for support, mainly Tyrannomon. You went over this in your video already, so yeah. The Tyrannomon, the Leviamon, and the Leviamon, all great for the deck.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see how this matchup goes out. It's like a clash of purple titans over here, and I think it should be a good one. But before we jump into the round, just a quick plug-in for our socials. As usual, we will have them linked in the video description down below in the link tree. Includes our Twitter, our Instagram, our Discord, as well as our TCG Player Affiliate and YouTube membership link. The most important one's probably going to be the Discord, where we do a lot of communicating with you guys. A lot of big announcements will be done through the Discord. One in particular that will be coming out probably by the time this video is live, is our box tournament. A lot of you folks have been clamoring for it. We finally have details hammered out. So the link to details about it, it'll be through Best Coast Pairing. So I'll link the event in the video description below. Feel free to sign up. We're capping it at 64 players. So, try to get in when you can. And we look forward to hosting you guys and, seeing what matches we see there. But yeah. Enough about all that. Let's hop right into the round over here. But yeah, I mean, you played more Luga than I did. I kind of dabbled with it here and there at the beginning of BT-14, but then sort of dropped off because I dabbled into other stuff. But I mean, like you said, like with the new support stuff, having another searcher, which I think just helps pick up both a tamer and a dart, like an SOC in trade, is huge.
Yeah. The Tyrannomon helps a lot. Stack did not set his security.
That's a game loss.
Yeah, but
I guess they're just figuring out how to resolve it here. So yeah, they just choose to draw and put 5. It's fine. Cool.
All good. The deck is great. Having another Leviamon helps it with a lot of consistency too, because then you can pick something up from Hellugar. Sometimes if you didn't have a Leviamon, you might be stuck with
no, not like this.
But Analog Youth immediately, putting a Leviamon there, and
yeah. So what we see here, speaking of the Tyranno, right? Like we see a Tyranno come out, you pick up 2 pieces, you picked up 2, and you're able to set up trash as well. So we get a Black Gato in trash almost immediately, which is just really good setup. And then Stack, unfortunately, hitting an Analog Youth is rough. I feel like that's always the problem that I have with Lugar.
Yeah.
Is I end up trying to get some early chip damage in, or I'm like, oh, I can swing, let me go Unga Bunga, and I'm like, well, shit.
Yeah, and then you give them a tamer.
Stack did pass over a fair amount of memory because it looked like his hand was a little mucked up. So we see him just play out a Biting Crush to pop the body on board. So since something was played out, he can proc Biting Crush because it was at the end of his turn as a delay effect, allowing him to play out a Levia. Correct? Unless that has to be stunned for a turn, no?
Delay can only activate once you basically like a turn has to pass. A turn has to pass, and you have to
right.
Your turn has to pass, basically.
Right. I think it's a little confusing because you do have like the Mem boost, right? That like technically you play him your turn, and then like you can just proc him almost immediately.
The rule for delay is that you basically have to have like an untap and draw. So like your turn has to start from the last time that the card was played.
Sure.
So it can be played out like during your opponent's security check, and then your turn starts, and then you can use it, but you can't like use it immediately.
But we do see a Halugar come out from Lugar to pop the Levia, just get rid of it. Which is, like, I think it's just a crazy method of removal for Lugar. Like, just being able to slam down a level 7, get some cycle going, and then popping a big body, is huge. Stack went ahead and did a training, and then he swung with the Guilmon.
Another, who's that another antibody protoform?
The Guilmon's just living, doing big things here.
Yeah.
And he ends up just passing. I wonder what's in his hand right now. Because that looks rough. Just being not able to see, obviously not seeing a level 4.
Yeah. The AG's in trash for Luga. Gains of memory. And there's some options here. Sure.
Yeah, like I think 4 memory is plenty for Lugar to just start climbing and doing things, but it looks like they are also missing some pieces. So we see out a hard played Labra. In order to pick up a Soul Lugar, and there we go. Okay, so there was a level 4 there, because Protoform is nice in this deck because everything in the line is an X antibody, so you can just turbo up even faster. And with all those inheritables too, like he can easily go into Soul Lugar, proc effects to play something out, gain 2 memory, and then use his pitch effect to pitch a Fenry and still keep turn potentially. So, well, I don't think he'd keep turn, but he would still have the big boy out and be pretty efficient about everything. That's wild.
Should gain 2 memory here.
Does decide to play out the AG just to choke to 1. Gabu allows Stack to gain a memory.
Yep. And then it looks like he's gonna use the Wisdom Training. Or not. He's gonna...
Yeah. So Guru will cost 1.
Yeah, Guru costs 1. I think they're just figuring it out.
Yeah, Stack will pitch 2 after drawing a total of 3, including the Evo.
Yeah, pitch Levia X. And what else?
Now here, since Stack had the X antibody in the line, I think he should have gained a memory too, correct?
What did he Wait, what did he pitch?
I think he pitched a Levia X, but that was it?
That was it, right?
Unless I'm missing it.
To play a Digimon, he'll pop a 5/3 and a Tamer. Yeah.
So pops the AG, pops the 5, pops the Labra.
Yeah.
Fair.
Solid play. And that's so devastating. Luga can kind of recover from that because you don't mind the AGs and trash that much.
No. And I think he's already set up 2 Black Gatos in trash too. So it's really just a matter of if he can turbo into his line or at least get the big body set up, then he is sitting in a pretty good position. And we see another AG come out. And I think just debating what to do here. Couple things I have noticed though. I think level 5s, at least the Soul Lugar, the Hell Lugar didn't have a source, but the Soul Lugar did have a source. He could technically have tapped to gain the memory. I don't know if that would have changed much. But
So it would have been on his opponent's turn. He would have had 4 memory going in this turn, and sometimes that does let you go into the plays where you can keep turn with Fenry, especially if he still has
right.
Especially if he has the X antibody promo form again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he'll keep getting it because Stack keeps destroying the thing that has it underneath and then swinging into security.
Yeah.
That card is doing work right now. It's saved 2 security so far.
And it goes back to hand, makes it a cheaper Evo. The thing I'm interested in is seeing the Zhu Yulin come out of security.
Yeah, that's an interesting card.
Yeah.
Because doesn't it only cross with, or doesn't it only mind link with
well, it's Digiplease and X antibody, so technically does work with Levia.
It does work with Luga, yeah.
Or Luga, sorry. Interesting.
Devastating on 7th lightning.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think Stack is in a pretty decent position with the 2 Levia X's. The fact that Levia X, honestly, that it digivolves from the trash for free is crazy to me.
But there's no... He should have been set to 3 memory and then gotten 2 memory, so he should have been at 5.
Correct.
But I think he did digivolve for 2. Yeah, so it's...
But I think he used the training, no? So, like, technically he should still be
at 5?
Well, no, you're right. Yeah, should be at 5 because he gained memory back from... Yeah.
A little bit of a misplay.
Which could be important because, I mean, memory in this sort of thing is still pretty key.
Yeah.
Go ahead and swing.
Still swing. Go into the...
Fenry.
For
4. Did declare an alliance, so was swinging into Levia X, brings out multiple bodies, 2 Tyrannos to allow him to do a little bit of digging. Jesus, that's a board. God damn.
Sure. That's a Death X board. I'll go ahead and discard Soluga, pick up the... Or discard a Helluga, pick up the Soluga.
Right.
Discard an Analog Youth.
Swung over and then swings and now is able to pop something.
Yeah, he's
to
got
restand.
7, so 3+, he can delete a level 10.
Jesus, dude.
And then he's swinging for 2 checks. At 12.
Yeah.
Swinging again. The glare is making it a little hard. A Biting Crush, which will unfortunately...
Pop the Fenry. There was the X Proto in the stack, so that will go back up into security.
Wow, he's getting so much mileage off that card in this deck.
I know.
Yeah. Swing with Black Auto. Black Auto is deleted.
Yeah. Ooh, Chimera, nice.
Chimera.
I think here he does decide to slip the Soul Lugar underneath, and this may be a situation where that memory gain may have been a bit more important.
Yeah. I mean, because it would have just been...
You would have been at 2 memory, he goes into Fenry for 4, plays out his guys, and he can just go for game here.
I think one of his Luga, the Leviamon was live, right? That Luga... The BT-15 one. I'm pretty sure that one.
Yeah. I
think we had it at the beginning. Of
he can just go ahead and swing. Yeah.
So swing for game.
Fair enough.
Well played. The only thing I having played the deck, and this is a mistake I make all the time.
Yeah.
You can slot the AG underneath. One of the Digimon that you're using for DNA. Before it turns into Chimera. That way, if you
sure,
the effect.
Sure. That's fair. That's totally fair because then you can use AG as an inheritable still.
Yeah. You can't get Alliance with it because it's not an SOC or a...
Unless you go into Fenry on top of it, right?
But like we were saying earlier, if they'd remembered to set the memory to 3 with the shoe, he could have done that because he did have another Fenry in hand.
Right. But I mean, I think this just goes to show how like crazy explosive Fenry can be. Like,
yeah, Fenry can just do so many like 1-turn wins.
Yeah. I think the explosive power of it is very combo dependent still. Like, it's still like if you're missing your pieces, it can be a really bad time. But if you're seeing your pieces, and like arguably BT-15 brought a lot of consistency pieces with the cards that you mentioned, that, you know, if you can get into that more consistently now, you're able to just do so much damage to a lot of these decks. Like, it has removal, it has multiple checks, it has restand, wide board, Tyranno being a blocker also gives you like a defensive option if you're like, look, I'm in a stuck spot, spawn out a crap ton of Tyrannos, keep an AG in the stack to give yourself blocker. Like, you can do so much.
Yeah, there's just a lot of options that the deck has. I'm excited to play it again.
No, not like this. Don't hurt me like this. But Stack, I think, is missing sorry for the glare, but I believe that is an Octomon that he had to just hard play. So we see a Fujitsumon token come out, and then Fenry is able to just kind of search and dig, get a training come out, and then a Tyranno come out, which is great value.
And a Fenry in hand.
Yeah.
Pokemon is, I mean, if he has the right pieces in the next 2 turns, Luke can just go for game.
Yeah. And that's a tough reveal by Stack with the Purple Mem boost with 2 X antibodies and 2 options out of the way now. That's rough.
Okay. So we see him put the AG underneath, gain the memory, go into Lugar. For 0, he'll go ahead and swing 1 check. Lives, unfortunately. You want that to die because you want it to come back. Can go into the soul. It'll gain back 2 memory, and then can still goes ahead, pitches the Fenry, digivolves into the Fenry.
What?
There's nothing to bring back, but he will unsuspect. Oh,
yeah. He hits that. It's unfortunate, but I mean, I think the idea was still pretty good. You know, being just like, you know what, like deal with my Fenry, because I think it's just assuming that Stack is bricking at this point.
Yeah.
And we see Stack.
Bring Luga back.
Then go Levia.
Yeah. Gain 1 memory. Goes into Levia. He'll pop the Tyranno. And that Leviamon.
Gain 2, puts him to 2.
Yeah, Luga has another one in the back. Just solid. So now it's reversed. Stack was looking in the bad position, but hitting that, and this is where you know you do want more things in the trash just to get a lion to make yourself large enough to swing over anything in their deck.
Yeah,
that's where it kind of hurt him a lot because now he's down one of his Fenrys and he's staring down a Leviamon.
Yeah. But I mean, I think Lugar is doing the best he can right now from like a defensive reactive standpoint. You know, like yes, Levia is doing Levia things. But okay, well, never mind now because Levia X just okay.
Levia X pop the analog. Yeah, pop the Luga, swing into the token, pierce.
It has pierce, so swing for 3 checks, and we know that Luga. Yes, it has security bombs in the sense that the worst you could do is like hit AGs or hit analogs and stuff in security to give your opponent stuff to work with. But like it doesn't really have a lot of like security removal. So like Levia, if you can keep the Levia on board and just swing Unga Bunga, like you're gonna be feasting.
Yeah, realistically, Luga, it won't really have that much security removal. The biggest removal that you'll have is I think some people tech in Levia X into the deck, which does help against mirror matches and other matches. Levia X with the 7th Lightning, those will typically be your removal pieces.
Yeah.
Right, but it just doesn't have a whole lot of space because there's so many cards. You need 4 AGs, you basically need 4 analog use.
4 trainings.
You need the 4 trainings, you need all the Luga pieces. So there's not much room for tech options.
Interesting. So Stack chooses to go into a Dragumon.
Dragu plays out
one of his own rush Geels, but does give Lugar a body on the board,
which is dangerous.
Yeah,
but he doesn't have,
and he's sitting at 3 security, so that can be pretty scary. At least from my standpoint. Again, I don't play purple as often as both you and Stack, so there may be a method to it. But I would be a little worried about giving Lugar an extra body just to potentially do something with.
Yeah, that is a little dangerous, especially when we see the X-Anybody Protoform to go into Leviamon.
And here, I mean, this new Leviamon can give a lot of gas as well.
Yeah.
So that with the extra body, you've got AG to potentially give Alliance to if you choose to go for other things. But I think at this point, he's going to go ahead and declare the target of attack to the, I believe this Dragu.
Yeah, discarding the soul. So soul evolved into it for 3. And this is where he should, if there's an AG underneath, he should bring something back from trash.
Right. But that's a when attacking, correct?
So the when attacking is to gain the memory.
Oh, okay.
Bringing something back from trash from this deck is a when digivolving effect.
Okay.
So yeah, missed that a little bit there. He should have 1 more memory. But I think he's just gonna use the Halugar
to pop the Levia X by pitching 3.
Yeah. And now it's not looking too bad. Stack's still at 3. So it's a pretty back and forth game. Plays the
Guru to go, probably Guru X here.
In the Guru X.
Both games, we're seeing it. We're seeing it. Okay, Waru Sidra.
Yeah, the card doesn't do that much, guys. I promise. It hopefully isn't broken.
Okay, so we see the Waru Sidra. Go ahead and declare an attack. The effect of it is to force your opponent to bring back, I believe it's a level 4 or lower Digimon.
And you don't activate on-play effects.
Don't activate on-play, and Waru, the inherent effect of it is to you can redirect the attack to that suspended Digimon if you choose to do so. And then you can use its sort of chained effect to go into Levia X since your opponent played something out from trash. You have the X antibody underneath, and you can just go into it for free, essentially pop board.
Pop level 5.
And the protoform will go back up. He's allowed to pick up an X antibody from trash, which I think is crazy. We see 3 checks go through. And at this point, I think Stack can just pass turn comfortably and be like, that Stack a card reveal over there. A freaking shuriken coming out. But yeah, I mean, I think
play some Naruto music when you
but yeah, like you said, real great back and forth. I think, I mean, I'm not an OG purple player like you, Stack, even TJ too is more of a purple player, but I see why it's super fun too to be just there's a lot of back and forth effects, I feel like, in purple decks.
Yeah.
That make it like super fun to play.
And it's always felt pretty toolboxy and like playing stuff from grave or trash, whatever you call it, in your card game.
Right.
It's always fun, right? It's always nice to have another resource, but that's also why it's kind of broken and why they're printing all these new cards that say get rid of your opponent's trash.
All right, so we see
Labra and Analog Youth. That's a very solid start.
Very, very solid.
Especially picking up a Fenry and then pitching a Black Gato and something else. Z Stack just evolve into the back and then give him some memory. It looks like another
Octo.
Is it? I don't think it's another.
No, it's not another. It's.
Yeah.
I can't see it. Sorry, the glare is.
We apologize. We are working on fixing the glare, guys.
Yeah.
So bear with us for now.
It seemed like a level 4 because it seemed like it was like a 4 cost to play. So it's probably one of those level 4s. Oh, it's a rare mon. It's a rare mon.
Okay.
So he pitched the draw and then he goes into something. I think it's a Waru if I'm not mistaken.
It's a purple blob. Yeah, it looks like a Waru. See him pass over turn. Lugermon has a stack with a Labra and a training on board, but we see him just play the Tyranno to search. Looking for pieces, probably missing the AG.
Yeah. And we see Stack here push up with his Octo. I think is deliberating like how he wants to sequence things, but does eventually hard Evo into Levia, which will allow him to pop both bodies on board, gain 2 memory to choke to 1, which I think is a pretty solid play.
Yeah. It's solid.
All right. Time to go. So we see training cracked to go into Lugar.
Yeah. And then probably if he has the Hell Lugar in hand, he's probably just going to want to just do that.
Does eventually go Soul Lugar. So it looks like we're just missing pieces here, which I think we've alluded to this before with other Lugars, where like if you're missing AG, like your deck is just in pain.
I wonder why he didn't play a level 3. There were Labras in there, no? Was Labra not a Dark Animal?
It should be a Dark Animal if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Oh wow. Jeez.
No, it is just a beast.
And it's just a beast, so okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we saw Stack just kind of chip away at security. Security gave him pieces, but no rookie to go into, nothing in terms of hard removal to get rid of those 2 bodies that would eventually go for game. So he decides to just scoop and give it to Stack. So Levia ends up taking it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still think really just good back and forth.
Yeah, just commanding play. Commanding play from Stack. Just unfortunately, yeah, that's the problem with Luga. If you are a red deck disguised as a purple deck sometimes.
Yeah.
You can't find your pieces. You really just can't play the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you need the problem with the big problem with the deck is that it needs specifically an AG. It needs a Fenry and it needs like Soul, pretty much, to do big plays. Yeah.
It's a very combo reliant deck, so as most combo decks are, like you just struggle if you don't see the line or the pieces that you need. If you can't pull off the big play, you can do a little bit of things here and there, but like it still is very like you kind of want that big OTK type play.
Yeah, you want the big turn. You have a lot of tools to help you find that stuff, but the times where you just don't have it and your opponent's faster, Levia I think is just more consistent where you're just looking for Levia half the time.
Yeah. And I think the last thing to point out too is I just feel like Lugar can struggle against decks that have ways to remove your pieces, and I think Levia is probably the deck in the format right now with the best removal options, and that's not even talking about like your option cards. It's just purely like from a Digimon standpoint, you can just wipe board so easily with Levia and Levia X.
Yeah, you can just absolutely destroy everything with those two. And going back to what you were saying about removal options, you know, the fact that it has like Biting Crush, you can run it as a 4-of and not care.
Yeah.
Because that card is so crazy.
Biting Crush, I mean, 7th Lightning also is just really good too. Like, you've got 2 really good removal cards that pair very synergistically well with 2 top ends that also provide removal. So, like, unless you're like a Black War Greymon deck that's just sitting there being like, I've got effect protection, you're gonna die. You know, so but yeah, I mean, that does wrap up the round. Really good back and forth play by both players. Congrats to Stack for taking it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Levia definitely is a deck to watch out for, so you know, get used to seeing it around, you know, especially if you're playing in these Ultimate Cups and regionals. Like, Levia is here to stay, and I think it's going to be playing a really big role in BT-15. So get used to seeing that big kaiju boy. But thank y'all for tuning in. We really do appreciate all the support. And Arby, do you want to close it off?
I'll catch you on the flippy flip. Bye.
Bye-bye.